Good morning and welcome to the vast and ever-expanding Vikings Entertainment Network at Twin Cities Orthopedics Performance Center. Today we roam in Eagan, Minnesota. This is the Friday Football Feast. The Minnesota Vikings had yesterday off and are back at it today with pads, preparing for the Giants a week from tomorrow and the very first preseason game. Now, today on the 9 to noon presentation, and thanks to TimberTech and TimberTech.com, expect rookie fullback Max Bredeson, the Athletics' Alec Lewis, and some hot Vikes Bites action. And we begin with our two-a-day series. You see, from the Packers to the Colts and through the Week 6 bye, we have arrived at the Detroit Lions and the 7th game of the season. Minnesota is at Detroit Week 8, and their game changer is back in the fold.
Opening possession of overtime. Goff up under center, turns, gives to Gibbs. Gibbs hesitates.
What do you got, Gibbs?
45 to the 50. Right sideline 40. Jets on. There we go. What do you got? Go. Touchdown, Detroit Lions. Ford Field. Stand up. Stand up. 65 yards. Jahmyr Gibbs to the house.
We know.
First play from scrimmage in overtime.
Oh,
if
goodness.
you know, you know.
And
that
we
man
know.
can fly. He can fly.
Oh, my goodness.
Joining us now is Detroit Lions play-by-play voice. He's one of the elite Voxes in the NFL. His name is Dan Miller. He's here to help us with two-a-days. Dan, the man on the fan, is Paul Allen. Now we know.
What's up?
What's going on, brother?
Hey, PA, we got to stop doing those games from bars with those guys standing around me.
Yeah. We had a little playoff game after the 2017 season where it ended with a play called the Minneapolis Miracle. Sounded like we did it from a bar too, with Bursich just going Lomas Brown on it, losing his mind with excitement. But that's part of what we do. And I never would tell this to Pete. I'm sure you would be the same with Lomas. Is like that is unadulterated emotion, and that's what we're in it for, man. Right?
No, I love it. And like TJ always got very, concerned about that. And he'd call me on the drive home or wherever we go, man, I'm sorry I stepped all over you. I'm like, dude, people at home are doing the same thing. I said, it's great. It's exactly what you said, PA. It's excitement. It's in the moment. There's nothing that could possibly have prepared you for that. And you just let it fly. And I love it. I think people enjoy the excitement of it. And, that's just such a lightning bolt play, much like the miracle, that you just remember those things, and that's part of it. We laugh about it. It's fun.
Well, with Jahmyr Gibbs, and when we said there's a game changer back in the fold, and we heard the highlight, for you guys with the hold in, it probably was, okay, eventually this is going to take care of itself, and he'll begin practicing, and that all transpired yesterday. The rest of us in the NFC North are like, oh, that's great, super special. Here comes Jahmyr Gibbs again because he's so good, but it's great having him back. No David Montgomery, I understand that, but nevertheless, Jahmyr's back in the mix, man. That has to make you happy.
It is. It's a great thing. And you're right. With the hold in, it never really seemed like this was going to last very long. And you had Bijan in Atlanta, and once that got done, or Gibbs got done, one of them was going to get done first, and the other one was going to get done shortly after that. And then Jonathan Taylor getting done certainly made it easier as well. So, I think it's just one of those things where two very similar players had agents that probably wanted to make sure that they were able to, one would set the mark and the other would maybe just exceed it by whatever 0.1. And it was one of those things. So I think that was the timeline that we were all on from the beginning. But look, he's such an important part of this team. And as you mentioned, without David Montgomery here this year, he'll even take on a bigger role, we assume. So, it's just having a guy like that, and you got a guy like that with Justin Jefferson. Anytime you get the ball in his hands, there's a chance it's going to be a touchdown. And guys like that can change games in the blink of an eye aren't the norm in the NFL. So when you have one, you certainly want them around.
So, Dan, with the Lions, other than the Terry and Arnold news and some key players still on the mend, how's camp life out Allen Park, Michigan way?
You know, it's an interesting camp because that 9-8 record last year and not making the playoffs didn't set well with this organization. I think they felt like they had kind of changed the way that the Detroit Lions do business, and last year they didn't live up to that. And really from the end of the season up until this week when they got into pads, the end of last week, it's, you know, Dan Campbell was really he had changed his demeanor a little bit. No less personable, but just not handing out bouquets. And everything during the offseason was, well, he looks good, but let's be clear, we won't know anything till the pads. And that was his kind of go-to line. And I just think he wanted to see these guys out there hitting again and getting back to some of the core principles that he felt like they had gotten away from, some of the toughness, some of the grit, some of the things that didn't show up at key times last year. So I think this was an anticipated camp, and I think these guys getting out there and hit yesterday was their longest workout we've seen so far. They were 2.5 hours in pads. I anticipate they'll be about the same thing today when they take the field here in about 25 minutes. So it's a camp that we've been talking about for a while because he's been pointing us towards it for a while. And we're here. I think it's been smooth. I think there haven't been a lot of disruptions. Even the Gibbs thing wasn't really anything that was seismic on the radar. And, they're waiting on Branch. They're waiting on Kirby Joseph. We don't know when Kirby will be back. Branch is a little further down the line, but there haven't been a lot of distractions, and that's always a good thing.
So 9-8 last year and no playoffs. That has to be past tense. You can grow off of it and hopefully be better for you guys, but it's past tense. But you get a fourth place schedule, man. I mean, what advantage might that be?
I think it does make a difference, and I've never really been a schedule guy. I've always thought, look, good teams win 10 games, bad teams lose 10 games. But there is a difference when you have 3 games against last-place teams, and the Bears, for instance, are playing 3 games against first-place teams. And we saw that last year, having a first-place schedule. So I think it can make a difference, but you have to take advantage of it. And there's also no guarantees because there are, obviously, as we saw with New England, teams that can make, complete turnarounds in a season where that last-place team doesn't look anything like the team that you're facing a year later. So, look, I think on paper, we're right there with the easiest schedule in the NFL, but what it looks like on paper right here in August might not be what it looks like on paper in November, and you also still have to go out there and play. That schedule doesn't give you wins. You have to go out there and take them, and most games in this league, as you know, are within a score or 10 points in the fourth quarter, and you got to figure out a way to win it.
So with those nice safeties, Branch and Kirby Joseph, I would imagine the hope is they both avoid the regular season PUP list, but it might go that way, right? I mean, 1 or 2 could be on the physically unable to perform when you guys start the season with game 1, right?
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if Branch was, because that just means he can't come back till after week 4, and I think that's probably very much in line with what they're expecting. He's on a traditional recovery from an Achilles that happened in early December last year. So I think they're thinking October for him would probably be realistic as to when you can get him back and at least begin, a significant ramp up when he would get back on the field. Maybe late October, early November. Just a guess here. They're not being specific with that. Kirby is a mystery, man, and it's been an open mystery where, there are times where teams won't tell you a lot. Dan Campbell has said several times during the offseason, I don't know. We don't know. We're doing everything we can to get his knee into shape. He's done everything he can to get his knee into shape. I've seen him running at camp. He looks terrific running. How that translates into playing football remains to be seen, but this is just a knee condition where there's been significant attrition, and it's not something that an operation or surgery can take care of. I know they've tried some of the, methods that you get in other countries that they can do things with the blood or try to, just work on that thing as best they can. They've been open to different kinds of therapies to try to get this thing right. But Dan Campbell's been very open in saying we will not know until he gets out there and tries to play football, and we're going to be smart as to when we turn that clock on and get him going. He's been working out at times on the side at practice. Like I said, he's looked good to me. Haven't seen anything that looks like a limp. But playing football is different, and we've heard this could be a pain management thing. This could be, something where you have to spot him. We'll have to wait and see. But I don't know that I've been around many injuries that were like this, where there was just absolutely nothing definitive. It was just a we'll see, because we just don't know how it's going to respond. It feels like, most of the injuries that we talk about with players, PA, are rehab or an operation, and then you're okay and you come back. This just hasn't been that, and we're all going to find out together just what Kirby is capable of. But man, he's, go back to what we said about guys like Justin or Jameer, with his ability to take the football from the other team, he's a game changer, and you need him out there, and it's going to be a blow to this team if he can't go.
You're Dan Miller, longtime play-by-play voice for the Detroit Lions, frequent contributor to the 9 to Noon radio show with a two-a-days, and we're on to the Lions. Yeah, your defensive line, with Hutchinson, who has some best in show to him, starting there is high end, but this whole thing might be real good, right? Tyleik Williams, Aleem McNeil is fantastic when he's healthy. And this Tyler Lacey seems to be opening eyes at training camp. What do you think about this D-line?
Yeah, some guys have to be better. And Aleem McNeil was just coming off the knee injury last year, and he'd be the first to tell you he wasn't himself. But a lot of times when you're coming off an ACL, it's the second year when you're back to your normal form, and they're hoping that will be the case with him. Tyleik got a little heavy last year, and this offseason he dropped 50 pounds, and he made it clear that wasn't dropping 50 pounds from his listed weight. He had gone well above that. Now he's back down around where he should be. So the hope is that he's better in year two. And look, Hutch is Hutch. We know what he can do, and the biggest thing for Hutch is, can you give him other guys that can help him? Because if all the other team has to do is kind of take care of him, it becomes an easier job. But if other guys become more of a threat, then it becomes interesting. Spent some time with one of your former guys, DJ Wanham, yesterday. I think he's been a real nice addition to this team. How much he can provide on third down remains to be seen. But I know they're excited about what he can do on first and second down, and they'd love to see him rev up the pass rushing ability, which he has certainly shown at times as well. So the guy that's kind of been a surprise, I think, for people in our camp has been Ahmed Hassanin, who was a sixth-round pick 2 years ago, didn't do anything last year, got hurt, sat out the year. But man, and I'll be honest with you, when they drafted him, he was a project. When he got here last year, clearly was a project. It was like, okay, hustles like crazy, but a lot to learn. But he just looks like a different guy this year. And we're early, and sometimes that happens, and then guys disappear. He's somebody that I think everybody's kind of locked in on and wants to see what he can do. Crazy energy on the field. Ability certainly to beat blocks and get in there after the quarterback that we've seen here, and saw flashes of at times in practice last year before he got hurt. But he just looked like a different guy. So we're all kind of watching him to see, could this be one of the stories for the team this year, that this guy could provide some pass rush ability on that defensive line, because I really think that's what they're looking for. Their numbers last year in sacks were good. Their numbers last year in pressures were good. They didn't get there nearly fast enough. They have to be a tick faster to bother the quarterback and change the way that offense has to play to truly be effective. Stopping the run also a big key with that group up front. They weren't as good last year as they had been the previous two.
What, just a couple to close here, because I know you have camp. What are the early impressions of new offensive coordinator Drew Petzing, who is a brilliant, brilliant man?
Yeah, all good. I mean, the relationship between him and Goff seems to be very good. Campbell is, said all the right things, and this was the guy he wanted, and they brought in Kafka as well from the Giants. So, you feel like he kind of really fortified that offense with some really good minds, but that thing's been terrific in terms of relating to the media, and what he's like. He's a very well-presented guy when he's standing up there, But I will say this, we've been through this before, and we went through this last year with the new offensive coordinator, and we went through the first year with Anthony Lynn as offensive coordinator, and there have been times outside of Ben Johnson, it hasn't worked. So, look, I think this thing is on track to be good. Maybe biggest thing in his corner is that offensive line looks like it has a chance to be better, which he's going to need because it wasn't good enough last year. But Drew's been terrific so far, and I think all the guys have really responded to him. But the biggest tests, obviously, are still to come.
Has Clemson rookie first-rounder Blake Miller solidified the right tackle position with the elite Penei Sewell moving to the left side, or is Blake in a battle?
I think he's on his way. I think he's secured most of the number one reps from Larry Borum. And I think they're comfortable at this point with Borum maybe being the swing tackle, but there's still time here where he's going to have to continue to prove himself before they get to that season opener. But I would say this, just his improvement from day one of camp to day whatever we're going into today, has been really strong. Day 4 of pads today has been really strong. You've seen him get more comfortable. So I think right now, whereas we expected more of a rotation, I think we've seen him handle most of those number one snaps. I think that it is at this point his job to lose, and where it goes from here is going to be up to him, how he plays. But I think they've been very happy with him kind of very quickly catching on and feeling more comfortable.
Lastly, my man, about 20 minutes from now on this radio show, former Michigan captain Max Bredeson joins the 9 to noon radio show. What, if anything, do you remember about Max when he played for the Wolverines?
Toughness. I mean, that's what those guys bring. I mean, he's just one of those typical Wolverines that there's just a nastiness about him. There's always a thread at Michigan that kind of goes back to Bo, where they just, and Jim Harbaugh certainly brought a lot of that back. They just want to pound you, and they just want to control the ball on the ground. They'll throw it, certainly because they know that there's things they can work off the ground game. But he's got, to me, that mindset of a Michigan player when Michigan is doing it the Michigan way, that they're just going to come on the field. They're going to prove that they're dominant over you. They're going to do it for 60 minutes. And they may tell you what play they're going to run. They're still going to run it, and they're going to run it right down your throat. And that, to me, he is emblematic of all those guys that kind of carry that mantra that even though Bo is long gone, kind of goes back in my mind to him as to what Michigan football looks like when it's really clicking and the best that it can be. It's that running game where they just, you're going to fight, but you're going to lose in the end, and then they take your will. And he, to me, always had that kind of, just kind of aura about him that he fits so well with the way they like to do things in Ann Arbor.
Hey, Dan, have a great rest of your summer. We'll stay in touch as usual, and God bless you and your family. Thanks for the time.
I appreciate it, PA. Always good. Thank you, my man.
Yes, sir. Dan Miller. Dan, the man on the fan, 2-decade play-by-play voice for the Detroit Lions. And that's the first part of two-a-days for today. Coming up later, we get to the next game and the Buffalo Bills. Nordo produces on site. Devin Ward is guiding the Great Chip Love Covenant from FM 100.3 KFAN. Max Bredeson, indeed, the Michigan rookie fullback. He'll be joining us about 20 minutes from now. That will be preceded by Vikes Bites. And we're going to hopefully bite into some bills for you right now and give away some money. We call it the cash thing. Happy Friday and good morning.
Good morning. The Fan and BigDeck.com want to give you a shot at some bonus bucks with the National Cash Contest. This hour's keyword is bonus. Use the keyword bonus and enter it at KFAN.com for your chance to win. The keyword is bonus. Enter it now at KFAN.com.
This is 9 to noon, live on iHeartRadio and KFAN, The Fan.
Your day deserves a bit of spice, and the new hottest fire...
Welcome back to Twin Cities Orthopedics Performance Center. This is Egan's Palatial Purple Paradise. According to the likes of Juwan Jennings and free agents who come here and rookies who come here and stuff, it's the best team facility in the National Football League. It's an honor to be here at the Vikings Entertainment Network. Our Tuesday home during the regular season when we get Kevin O'Connell for X's and O's. But we are here today so that we can sit down with Max Bredeson, the rookie fullback from Michigan. Alas, and plus we have much more coming your way, including Vikes Bites right now, provided by...
Vikes Bites provided by Kinmount Exteriors, KinmountExteriors.com. Windows, siding, roofing, and decks. Oh, my. You're going to get to meet these guys, Paul, Craig, and Clay, their beautiful showroom in Lakeville. They want to help you fall in love with your home again, whether maybe that's a new deck. Maybe it's just putting a little facelift, some stone facing on the front, siding, roofing. They're going to make your life a lot easier with their clear quote promise. So just get to KinmountExteriors.com. I want to start here, something that we were talking off air about. So you went to training camp the other day, the pads day, and it was fierce. There was a lot of physicality in the game, in the practice. How deeply or how grain of salt do you take results in camp? Because this is my biggest thing right now, where I'm seeing a good thing, and I gotta in my own brain, oh my goodness, number 95, he might be a thing. We've joked about that. Oh my goodness, I can't get ahead of my skis on this. We got to be patient and take a breath.
65-1 for Defensive Rookie of the Year. Ooh. 65-1. Are you kidding me?
I mean, that's worth a trip down 35.
Yeah, fill that tank for $10, man.
Not bad. And then on the other end of it, you see a poor result. It's an incompletion. Yeah. It is XYZ moment that looks the eye test, because we're results focused, that thing's an L, and therefore the player is an L, and therefore there's no path forward for that individual, and I'm going to pull my freaking tickets. If I see him starting in a spot. What kind of a balancing act has that been for you during this camp, and of course, like 30 others?
It's not, and I've just seen so much for so long that it can't be. For instance, because if you talk about, write about, or put on your TV channel or radio station or podcast J.J. McCarthy, and you headline it the right way, then you're going to get a lot of those clicks. A lot of people are going to watch it or listen to it or read it, and that's just how it's been the last couple of years. So if that's part of what you're getting at, and I think it should be, because he just has some polarizing to him ever since he was drafted. So like with McCarthy, okay, there have been some moments that have not been preferred. But I also am not going to eliminate part of the narrative that he went to Ford Field and snapped a losing streak against the Lions. I'm not going to eliminate from the past performances that he started the season last year and beat the Chicago Bears basically by himself in the fourth quarter. So you know what's there. Now you wonder what's next. Now, like Chuck Demings, the Stephen F. Austin rookie corner. Ty Felton, second year from Maryland. The consistency is what I look for. Yes. So, like yesterday, 9 to noon, where I'm like, Ty Felton's not going away. So, I'd bet 3, 18, and 14, Addison, Jefferson, and Jennings get the majority of the reps. Ty Felton ain't going away. And he is dramatically different than last year. Okay, well, the cliched receipts. I don't keep receipts. Nordo doesn't keep receipts. The whole thing's stupid because things morph different ways as you move on.
Well, and the cool thing, too, with my online banking account, I can just go and see those transactions there. So I just don't need to keep receipts.
Fair. But where are the receipts from those who, and we don't go looking for them because we're not of the doom scrolling variety. Or no, there may be some doom scrolling, but we don't look to put people in coffins from something they said 7 months ago. But where are you? Everybody who's like, nice draft pick, Ty Felton sucks, never plays, look at him on the field. Oh, great, he's a gunner. Oh, we're happy for you. Okay, where are the tweets or the Instas or the snaps or the TikToks? It's like, 7 months ago, I said this. I couldn't have been more wrong. Boy, that's real analogous to this society, which lacks context pretty much with everything.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how I look for it. Like Demings, splashes. Go ahead and do it again. Go ahead and do it again. Go ahead and do it again. Same with Ty Felton. Ty Ingram Dawkins has had an awesome training camp, at least to my untrained eye. Well, he had some moments last year, but not great moments, nothing that really jumped out. But they're going to count on him a lot this year. Can he be consistent? So that's kind of how I look at it. I'm not a rep-by-rep guy. I'm more a day-by-day guy.
Yeah.
And what's the consistency or lack thereof look like?
I like that. Bites! What up, Jordan?
Context matters, kids.
Thank you, Kin Mount Exteriors. With that said, what up with Nudie? This secondary right now is kind of fun to evaluate and watch on a day-to-day basis.
Dwight McGlothern Jr.
Exactly, because I'm hearing about in the land of opportunities, Zamiah Vaughn turning ahead in certain spots.
Unless he covers Ty Felton.
And
Ty's killing everybody, including Isaiah Rodgers.
You know what kills? Speed kills. And Ty Felton got them legs.
Right, got the legs. Who knew?
But you hear about James Pierre. He's nicked up early, misses some practices, just kind of up and down, feeling his way through things.
Yep.
And I'm just not hearing a lot. And I'm omitting Isaiah Rodgers and Murph.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. From the equation here. I'm just kind of thinking about Dwight McGlothern. And again, land of opportunities, the theme here for me.
Yeah.
Because this will kind of meld into Jacoby Thomas or Jacob Thomas.
Yep.
Which flavor do you prefer? Jay Ward in a big spot. Nobody's talking about Theo. It's like Theo, who apparently had like the best camp practices in the history of Vikings football at the spot. He's kind of quiet. He's kind of in the weeds. Maybe guys like Theo and Nudie kind of existing and finding their way through the weeds right now.
Guess what? Ty got behind Theo Jackson the other day.
Uh-oh.
Got behind Isaiah Rodgers and Metellus. He's not going away. What are you going to do with him, guys? What are you going to do with him?
Yeah.
And I'm just very curious to see how that works. Now, with Dwight McGlothern Jr., it's a meat grinder with James Pierre here. Demings has some show stealing to him during camp. So you got all those guys, and then you got Zamiah Vaughn et al., where from a practice squad standpoint or just sticking in the covenant, when people are like preseason games don't matter, all right, they're not as exciting as regular season games, but McGlothern is going to need to show out on special teams and make some memories in these 3 preseason games, and maybe that'll open some eyes. But I would guess at this moment he would be behind the likes of Demings and Zamiah Vaughn.
It's looking that way, and I didn't even mention Demings because whether it's articles being written about him,
he's in the mix.
Vikings.com. The Stephen F. Austin cat is absolutely in the mix as it is today.
Yeah, he's trying to usurp James Pierre, and Pierre he had a wonderful first day of practice. Just singled up on Jefferson, super physical. I mean, I think I shared this with you, but Jefferson, was half to 3/4 speed, and that's what Jefferson does at this stage of his career. And you got the former Steeler out there going, he's out there trying to be Mel Blount, and he's trying to win playing time, and he did a really good job. Then he left the practice at the end and didn't practice for like 3 or 4 days. I'm not going to say Demings passed him, but this is a smell the blood, go get the chum business. Demings capitalized, and now we got a little bit of a meat grinder.
I dig that. Vikes Bites!
Vikes Bites.
Thank you, Kin Mount Exteriors. Jamal Adams Is he in a spot, or is to see and to understand Jamal Adams in the mix here? Is that one of those things you need to see in a preseason game to get it? Because, again, just kind of steamrolling day by day, there's this, whoa, we got Jamal Adams on the team.
Yeah.
Well, and how does that look in terms of the former safety who now we're going through Raiders film to figure out what he looked like as more of an inside linebacker a year ago? And then we're starting to get our minds moving. He talked about this mountainous rehab with the torn quad.
Yeah.
And so just kind of understanding Jamal Adams and what he can do. Do we got to see the vet in a preseason game to get it?
Well, I have him in the mix, and when Alec Lewis gets here in 25 minutes or so, we're going to low-key go through some of the numbers to get to the 53. And
it's a numbers game.
And this is with the right to change it as we move on throughout training camp and the preseason games. But like inside linebackers, Wilson, Cashman, Ivan Pace Jr., Jamal Adams, Jake Golday. That's where I have him at this stage. So I have him in the mix, but it still is a work in progress for him because he's still young in his transition to linebacker. It helps that the general manager absolutely believes in him. Likewise for Brian Flores, as Nolan Teasley told us the other day. Teasley gets with Flores and says, "What do you think?" And Flores finds, okay, well, he can help here, and here. So then he ends up being an Egan. So I have him in the mix, but I do think that there still is some work to be done. I would guess he plays in the preseason games.
Vikes Bites, and that is Vikes Bites, brought to you by Kinmount Exteriors, Windows Siding, Roofing, and Decks, a local company that is in love with beautifying your home, and they're terrific at it, KinmountExteriors.com.
Max Bredeson is a rookie fullback for the Minnesota Vikings, fifth rounder from Michigan, somebody who was a walk-on at the University of Michigan, a really good baseball player in high school, also a good football quarterback, but didn't really get a lot of sniffs when it came to the Biggins trying to recruit him. Max is going to share that story and much more when 9 to noon continues from Twin Cities Orthopedics Performance Center on FM 100.3 KFAN.
This is 9 to noon, live on iHeartRadio and KFAN, The Fan.
Our iHeartRadio
continues on your home for Minnesota Vikings football, FM 100.3 KFAN. And Max Bredeson, a rookie from Michigan, joins the equation now. It's nice to meet you. How are things, my friend?
Things are going well. Thank you for having me.
No problem. Do you have a nickname? And the reason I bring it up is there's a writer who covers the team named Alec Lewis for The Athletic. He's actually going to be on this radio show a little later. And when he was writing notes on like 45 offensive players, he's like, this guy needs a nickname. But, this is all under the assumption Max is on the team and Max is playing for the Minnesota Vikings during the season. So, did you have a nickname when you were a Wolverine or maybe back to Arrowhead or with the Bredeson family?
I've always just been Breddy. It's always just been it. I don't know. Wherever I go, it just kind of sticks.
I think I read McCarthy gave you a nickname at Michigan. So, I know you and JJ are friends, but nothing jumps out?
Nothing jumps out.
Right.
There's a lot that goes on throughout the season, so I'm sure some pop up here and there.
As a rookie, I don't really know what the timeline is for stuff like this, but have you had to sing or dance or do rookie stuff in front of the team yet? Has that happened?
I haven't had to go yet. Right now there's a spinning wheel picking the names, and my name hasn't popped up yet, but I'm ready and prepared when it does.
Would you care to share what it's going to be?
I'm going to sing Ride With Me by Nelly, but I think I'm ready.
You want to work on it now?
It'll be a good sing-along song for...
we got Nordo here for the backup. Craig Peters back here and Sammy. They could be your backup.
I think I'm ready to go.
Yeah. Oh, that's going to be good.
People join in.
Yeah, that's going to be... You think you'll be nervous?
I mean, that team room's pretty tall, but I'm ready for the task.
Right. Strange question. When's the last time you scored a touchdown? Was it Arrowhead High School?
I think it was week 5, Waukesha West, when I was playing for Arrowhead High School.
Oh, geez, okay. Yep. Well, and the reason I ask is October 4th. Mm-hmm. Is that date yearly on the calendar in any way important to you?
That is my birthday.
Right. Okay. Well, your 24th birthday, the Minnesota Vikings play the Miami Dolphins. I mean, it would be like a touchdown popping out of a cake if Kevin O'Connell could craft a touchdown for you that game. What do you think?
Yeah. I mean, I've always took pride in that. It's like I'm always about getting the team touchdowns. So I may not have had touchdowns at Michigan, but I do take a lot of pride in that I helped a lot of other guys score. So
yeah,
I don't like taking touchdowns as a reward, only when they're schematically correct. And whenever that time's called, I'll be ready to go do it.
Well, being serve first, there's nothing wrong with that, and you have a serve first role, not only on this team but at Michigan, and back at Arrowhead. I know you played some quarterback and stuff like that, but I mean, say you're active that game, and say they get inside the one and it's 1st and goal, and they go straight eye and line up the tight ends and everything, and you're the fullback. I don't know, maybe a little nudge to O'Connell. He's good that way. He got C.J. Ham in the end zone a few times,
Yeah, I mean, whatever I'm asked to do, I'll be ready to go do it. Whether that's just running in with whoever's behind me, or but if that's the call that's made, I'll be ready to go do it.
How would you? What position would you describe you play? I mean, running back, fullback, tight end, H-back. Like qualify your role.
I think it's best to say fullback, because with how the fullback lines up now, I can line up in a wing, split out. I think that does more justice for where I line up. A lot of the backfield stuff, because if I was to say a tight end bucket, you think more in line, but I think fullback's the best way to describe it, with a lot of like H-back flair, stuff like that.
Wednesday, and maybe you've met him before, but at Wednesday's practice on the sideline, there's old C.J. Ham. Had you met him before? And like C.J., he's fullback immortality here, so like when C.J.'s there, I mean, you gotta make sure all your P's and Q's are handled, right?
Yeah, 100%. I got to meet him a couple times before this, and he's been a great mentor to me. I couldn't say enough great things about CJ and what he's done to help me so far. He's definitely helped me, just kind of like getting edge to get ahead a little bit. But yeah, when CJ's in attendance, you better have chin strap buckle up a little extra tight, and I think there's some good plays I was able to go show him.
Max Bredeson, 5th-round rookie from Michigan for the Minnesota Vikings on the 9 to noon show. A lot of this comes with the assumption is what you're going to hear. So this comes with the assumption that you'll be playing in the Giants preseason game, which means if you are, we're going to start hearing this a lot next week, is how excited people are to run into players in jerseys of another color. Get a chance to go full speed, and you don't have to worry about, okay, I'm going full speed. I really don't want to crush Van Ginkel. I'm going full speed. I really don't want to crush Dallas Turner. But when you start playing other teams, I mean, that's like a heat-seeking missile. Just go out there and nail somebody, right?
Yeah, it'll definitely be cool to go against somebody else. I'm still in the phase right now as a rookie where it's just pretty cool to go block some of these other guys, like some of these names that you've heard, some of these names that you watched. So I'm still in the phase where it's pretty cool blocking these guys, but excited for to expand that even further.
You were correct me if I'm wrong here, you were a walk-on at Michigan, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so Arrowhead, as we learned this morning, Arrowhead High School, Heartland, Wisconsin, has some Wisconsin football powerhouse to it. So, I mean, you come out of a super well-respected football school, and, here you're going to be in the NFL, and hopefully with a long career like your brother Ben with Tampa Bay. So were you not highly recruited?
No, not at all.
Really?
Yeah, no.
Why is that? Any idea?
I was quarterback. I didn't play a lot of games. I got hurt my junior year and transferred. And COVID happened with my senior year, and then I got hurt my senior year also. So I really only played 5 high school games, 5 or 6 high school games at a varsity level. So I just didn't have a lot of tape. I knew what I was capable of, and was just ready to go bet and risk it. Just go bet on myself and walk on to Michigan, and I knew I could make it right no matter where I had to line up. So I always in my mind knew I could do it, and it was just fun that it all turned out the way it did.
And so that obviously would be where you and J.J. McCarthy became friends, and you guys are quite good friends, aren't you?
Yeah, I mean, you play, that's your quarterback I played 3 years with him, so yeah. Got a lot of good memories through that. We actually had the same quarterback coach.
Really?
In high school, which is funny, yeah. He definitely beat me out in the quarterback battle, unfortunately. But No, we kind of knew of each other then, and then through college we were able to just play together, and friendship grew from there.
So growing up in Wisconsin, Heartland, Wisconsin, did you grow up a Green Bay Packers fan?
We were just like, my brother went to Michigan so early that I was just a diehard college football fan. I never went to a Packers game as a kid that I can really remember. So I was always a diehard college football fan.
Badgers?
Yeah, everybody in Wisconsin's a Badger fan.
You remember Van Ginkel when he played there?
Of course.
Really?
Yeah.
And was he a game changer?
It's just cool seeing Gink, and it's he's played in the NFL for so long. It's just I got to see him in college, so it's just cool. Cool how long a football player like that has been playing.
Right.
But as soon as Ben and Jack went to Michigan, then I was all Michigan, no more Badgers. So I guess my fanhood's kind of not the usual Wisconsinite fanhood.
So the common thread is when you guys talk to Donovan Jackson, who played at Ohio State, you're like, well, I was at Michigan, he was at Wisconsin, you were at Ohio State. I'm not saying that there's deeply rooted disdain at this level for the Buckeyes, but they along with the Wolverines can be the target at which to shoot in the Big Ten, right? And Donovan was quite good there.
Oh yeah, he was a really good player. I remember first time we stepped in the huddle in OTAs. I was I don't know, I was the rookie in the huddle, so I'm just keeping quiet, saying hi to the guys, and we just lock eyes, and we just joke and just go, brother. Now it's over. Here we
brotherhood.
Go. Yeah.
Max Bredeson, 9 to noon. You were a two-time captain at Michigan, correct? Two-time captain for the Wolverines?
Yes, sir.
So if say eventually you wear the C here, say eventually you're a captain in the NFL, but being a captain for the Michigan Wolverines, what goes into that? Is it a prideful moment? Because they think so highly of me on and off the field. From a leadership standpoint, it's an honor to wear the C. But being a captain for a football juggernaut like that, what role do you assume?
Yeah, that was the greatest honor of my life. Being voted as captain there, just because it was the respect that my teammates had for me. Just knowing that the vote of my teammates that I was the guy to lead them out of the tunnel. It was also super special to me because my brother was a two-time captain there. So for us to both have that title is pretty special. And, it's something I'll always hold very highly in terms of the things that have happened in my football career.
And who's your brother who works with player development or whatever with the New York Mets? So we got a brother working with the Mets. We got a brother who's the starting guard for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, drafted by the Ravens back in the day, in the 4th round. And now we got you. So first your brother working with the Mets. Why didn't he end up in football?
He was always a baseball guy.
Was he?
He is the biggest. He's all a 6'6".
Yeah.
So we always joke about it that he played DN in high school, and there's some reps that apparently he beat Ben.
Really?
So those have never lived down in the family. But
wow,
he's always a baseball guy. He was trying to get me to play baseball. I played baseball through high school too, but me and Ben's path was just football, and his was baseball.
Let me guess, catcher or first baseman, and you hit it a mile.
Center field.
Center field?
I could run. Yeah.
Could you run it down?
Oh yeah, I could run. It was cover a lot of space in the outfield, and it was either going out or strike three. There's no in between.
What is this brother's name for the Mets?
Jack Bredeson.
So have you tapped on Jack for a Juan Soto or Francisco Lindor autograph?
He's good friends with all those guys. It's cool because just the nature of his role, it's his role, the stuff that he talks about with it's cool hearing the differences of baseball and football, and the Jack kind of doesn't get the same hype. Everybody thinks me and Ben, because Ben plays in the NFL. The amount of impact Jack's had on my career for me to be here, the amount of impact Jack has had on Ben for his career to be where it is. He's kind of the unsung hero people forget about. So I couldn't say enough great things about Jack.
So when your squad, the Vikings, hooked the Buccaneers early in the season at Tampa Bay, it's the 3rd or 4th game.
Week 3.
Yeah, week 3. I mean, that's going to be another, you said, being a two-time captain for the Wolverines, greatest football-related honor of your life. Well, there's a new one coming. The honor of playing now granted, your offense and he's offense, but playing in a game, being on the field, warming up with your older brother. That's super cool.
Yeah, that'll be probably the coolest day. That'll be the coolest football day of my life, probably.
For now.
Yeah, for now.
Until October 4th, and O'Connell gets you in the end zone 2 times.
I think the family one would be even more special. That would be cool. Obviously, the whole family's going to be there for that one.
Yeah.
That day is going to be pretty special to family. We've already made the deal that whoever has home gets to wear the jersey, so family will be in Ben's gear, unfortunately. But
are you going to do a jersey swap with Ben at the end of the game?
Of course.
I
want to keep that one forever.
All right, couple of quickies to close here for rookie Max Bredeson, fullback for the Minnesota Vikings. And you mentioned it earlier, but you played quarterback in high school. Mm-hmm. Well, so you can throw. So can Jawan Jennings, so can Justin Jefferson, and so can the punter, Johnny Hecker. They all throw. I mean, what about you? They'll never see it coming. Know what I mean?
I always just, for the people who do know I could throw, like the guys that I played with in college and stuff, is like, well, nobody's going to expect the fullback to be able to throw. But
well, I don't know if Jennings, Jefferson, or Hecker were a center fielder, like with a cannon for an arm. You know what I mean? Because everybody, all the skill guys, specifically the receivers, they all think they can throw, and they all want to throw. And Justin's thrown, but Jennings has thrown twice in his career, both touchdowns, including one in the Super Bowl. Like Johnny Hecker's like 15 of 26 for like 200 yards with a touchdown during his career. So they all can or think they can throw. I don't know if they played center field, gunning people around in third coming home. Know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, those stats don't lie. Unfortunately, I haven't thrown a pass in a long time.
They'll never see it coming.
Exactly. That's the one thing that it does keep available, is you never expect the guy lining up in the eye to be the one that could throw.
Yeah. How would you describe the running game here? Now, doing this radio show and being around the team, we've talked a lot about, Frank Smith, the assistant head coach, with McDaniel in Miami, bringing that San Francisco wide zone flair. Kevin O'Connell at the Combine, when he was talking about what he wants from the running game, he said, I want a vertical wide zone. So run and get wide, and then maybe go over the top and get vertical. So is this in any way analogous or schematically the same as what you did at Michigan, or how would you describe this running game?
There's some things that are super similar, and there's some things that couldn't be way more different. And the things that are way more different are so cool. I've had so much fun playing in this system so far. The different ways that the amount of different ways the ball can be ran, the different ways that the pre-snap formations, the motions, the way the picture changes. There's so much cool stuff. But yeah, there's some stuff I was familiar with, which is nice. So you have some sort of a background. And there's some things where you're just starting brand new.
Right. How hard is it to learn the nuance of what's expected from your role and the whole offense in the NFL?
There's a lot of football to know. There's a lot of football to know. And it's been fun. This is your job now, so you got to know it all. But it's football's always kind of been like a fun puzzle to put together for me. There's certain plays where you're kind of you're hearing the call, and you know that things have to be in certain spots. Yeah. So from there, you're able to put the pieces together, and but there's a lot of offense to know. There's a lot of football to know. There's a lot of defense to know also. But it's been pretty cool, and it's been a fun learning journey so far.
Lastly, for Max Bredeson, and if I'm the 100th person to do this, then A, I apologize, but B, I'm very intrigued by it, and we've heard this and or read this. It has some low hanging fruit to it, but hear me out on this. The Max Bredeson high end comp to his game has been San Francisco 49er Kyle Juszczyk. Mm-hmm. So what do you know about Juszczyk and his game, and would you say, when you get it all down and it's quick twitch and it's second nature, that you're comparable to the way Kyle plays?
Yeah, I mean, every fullback has watched an unbelievable amount of Juszczyk if you're trying to play fullback. Mm-hmm. Similar systems and similar stuff. It's cool to watch now, you've seen the tape so many times and you wonder why things are being done like that, and now you're kind of in this similar system. You're like, oh, I get why that happens. Yeah. But yeah, him and then Alec Ingold's another guy I like to watch too, who plays in a similar system.
Played for Miami?
Yeah, played for Miami with Frank. So Frank's always able to help me talk through why he does certain things like this. But it's great to have guys like that in the league. it's cool to be like at that level now where you're watching these guys and you're expected to go play to that standard now.
Yeah.
But yeah, those two guys are definitely names you as a fullback you watch a lot of, and guys you want to replicate and you want to play that same play style.
Well, a week from Saturday, and I don't know if he's going to play, but Patrick Ricard. You know, I don't know how familiar you are with him, but he played for the Ravens. And, I mean, you'd have to gain 100 pounds to be like Ricard. But, I mean, when you see his size, like when he played for the Ravens and he was in front of Derrick Henry, that was like 540 pounds of humanity coming at people. So that's another one to study, with the good feet and everything. And he catches it occasionally. And Patrick Ricard, you'll see him coming up in that Giants game.
Yeah. The fullback community is a small community. Some people are in touch, and it's kind of like a thing of like Ricard's kind of his own animal.
Yeah, right.
Like he kind of does his own thing. Like it's like he's 300 pounds, and he moves so well. It's so impressive. You try and take as much as you can from that tape.
Yeah.
There's some things you can't replicate. There's some things you can. There's some things where you're like, how is he doing that at 300 pounds?
So you're 23 years old, yet you know a lot about fullbacks from like the last 10, 15 years, right? So if I'm like Lorenzo Neal.
Everybody, you got to know Lorenzo Neal.
With the neck thing.
Tom Rathman.
Yeah, what about Madison Hedgecock?
Should I know that one?
I don't know. Get to the YouTube machine. Okay. I think you'll like it. Hey, great meeting you, and best of luck to you, man. Have a great practice today, and we really enjoyed that. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you for having me, guys.
Max Bredeson, fullback for the Minnesota Vikings. Back after this.
This is 9 to noon, live on iHeartRadio and